G'day, I'm Justin Porter. Today's date is the 30th of October 2025, and I want to give my heart out to the poor Jewish people around the world who have been persecuted for the last 2,000 years, persecuted by Christians and persecuted by Jews, persecuted by Muslims since the 7th century AD for not accepting Muhammad. As an agnostic atheist, my heart goes out to all Jews, and I love Jews. I think they're beautiful people, and I'm an agnostic atheist. I'm not Jewish. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I'm of Viking ancestry. My ancestors' gods were Thor and Woden from Scandinavia. And my heart goes out to Jews because this is wrong. We thought this ended in World War II. If you saw that movie Schindler's List, Oskar Schindler was a real person born in 1908 in Czechoslovakia, and he died in 1974 in Germany. But during World War II, he saved the lives of thousands of Jews in the concentration camps, not because he was a Christian, not because he was a Christian, not because he was a German soldier, because he was a good person. And in the movie, he saw this, in the movie, if you watch the movie Schindler's List, you remember that girl in the red dress, and then at the end of the movie, you see the girl in the red dress dead on a pile of bodies. Oskar Schindler was a hero to the Jews because he said, this is wrong. This is wrong to kill and cause suffering to fellow human beings. It's a wrong thing to do. Now, Hitler was a Christian. Germany was a Christian nation. Martin Luther King, Martin Luther in 1517 started the Protestant Church, and Martin Luther was a Christian, and he persecuted Jews, killed Jews. Jews that didn't convert to Christianity were killed, were expelled from Europe, and the Jews have had a horrible time with Christians and have been persecuted by Christians. And it's only at the end of World War II, when 6 million Jews were gassed by the Germans, it's only at the end of World War II that the Jews could breathe a sigh of relief at the end of World War II, and in the 60s and 1960s and 1970s they lived in peace and were left alone by, and as an agnostic atheist, I don't believe in God. I don't believe there's a personal God. I believe God is nature. God is nature, and I'm a spiritual person, but I believe nature is God, and you can't pray to God, you can't read books, it's just nature. Go outside and you see the nature of living things and the universe, that's God. And I am spiritual, but I do believe religion the Jews have been blamed for the death of Jesus, and I believe Jesus is a Roman invention. The Roman Empire crafted Jesus, and the Roman Empire made Jesus into a god. The Apostle Paul made Jesus into a god, God-man, and he's totally made up by the Romans. If there was a Jesus, could have been a Jesus, a messianic prophet who got executed, but the miracles and that, Rome invented that. And Jesus was invented in 70 AD after the war between Rome and the Jews, because the Romans hated the Jews, and they invented this God-man Jesus for a new religion to unite the kingdom, the Roman Empire. And Muhammad comes along, Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I'm saying this with all respect to Muhammad. He was born in 570 CE, and he died in 632 at the age of 62, and he started up Islam. And Muhammad said that Muhammad the Prophet, he said that he's mentioned in Deuteronomy 18:18. The Prophet Muhammad's mentioned in Deuteronomy 18:18, where God will send a prophet, and if you listen to that prophet, and Muhammad showed the Jews that in the Torah, because the Jews don't call the Old Testament they call it the Torah, Talmud, I think, and because the New Testament, the Gospels, is just made up by the Roman Empire, completely made up by the Roman Empire. So in the Torah that Muhammad showed the Jews, and the Jews laughed at Muhammad and didn't accept Muhammad in Islam, and Muslims have hated the Jews ever since. They've hated the Jews. So not only the poor Jewish people have had the Christians against them for the last 2,000 years, persecuted by Christians, not persecuted by atheists or agnostics. Hitler was not an atheist. Hitler was a Christian. Not a very good Christian, I say. The SS officers were all Christians, not very good Christians, but they were Christians. They weren't agnostics and atheists. And part of the reason why the Jews were persecuted in Nazi Germany, well, they're Christ killers. They killed Jesus. This Roman invention. And the Muslims didn't like the Jews either because they rejected Muhammad. And I feel so sorry for the Jews because they had Moses and Abraham, and they're the ones that came up with the Abrahamic religion. And then along come the Christians and along come the Muslims with these new religions. And it's like Christians, it's like Mormons are a new thing of Christianity, and Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're all fighting each other. But us agnostics and atheists say, look, God is nature. We can all be spiritual, and what if there is no life after death? If there is no life after death, there's nothing to fear about death. And people's biggest fear is the fact that there's no life after death and they're going to become nothing. So religions give us comfort, but they also give us a lot of pain. So Oskar Schindler was born in 1908 and died in 1974 at the age of 66. And he was a hero. He was a good man. And he saved Jews. He saved Jews not because he was a Christian, but he was a good, decent human man, a good human. And also this Ahmed Ahmed, the hero of Bondi, is a Muslim. He's a Muslim. When those 15 people got shot at Bondi Beach, Ahmed Ahmed, the Muslim hero, he attacked the gunman and stopped a lot of more people getting killed. Now, he stopped, not because he was a Muslim, he stopped the killing because he was a good human being. And human beings can be so good. We can be good, but religion divides us into little groups. Religion divides us into us and them, the Christians and the Muslims, and you don't accept Jesus, you kill Jesus, you don't accept Jesus, you Christ killers. Jesus is a Roman invention, and Muhammad is a religion started by the Arabs, a new religion, and the Jews don't accept Muhammad, so the Muslims hate the Jews. And as an atheist and an agnostic, I don't believe in God. I do not believe in God. I'm an agnostic, I'm an atheist, I'm spiritual. I do believe nature is God. I believe in the God of nature, the universe. We experience nature. We're part of nature. Our body, atoms in our body have always existed. And when I die, I'll be part of the earth again. My atoms will go on forever in different forms. My consciousness will go. But I'm a living, breathing primate. And as John Lennon sang, imagine there's no heaven, no hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine people living together in peace. for this one and only life that we get. So stop fighting each other and killing each other because you have a different view of the afterlife. People are hating each other because they have different views of the afterlife. Your view of the afterlife and your view of the God is wrong. My view of the afterlife and my view of God is right. And they fight, they divide. And as an agnostic atheist, I don't know all the answers, but nature's God. Yeah, the universe is God, and we're part of that God. And when we die, we just go back to what we were before we were born, and we live in peace. We can make this one life, one and only guaranteed life that we actually have, we can make it a heaven or hell on earth. And to me, religion does more harm than good. It divides people. The problem with the Middle East is Muslims, Jews, Christians, all fighting each other, all saying we're the ones that God chose, all the others are wrong, and their afterlife story is wrong, their holy books are wrong. We've got the right holy book. And the Muslims believe in Jesus. The Muslims believe that Allah took Jesus up to heaven, and he was a prophet, Jesus, and Allah took Jesus to heaven. Jesus didn't get crucified as a human sacrifice because Allah wouldn't allow that, because Allah is willing to forgive people. He doesn't want a human sacrifice. So the Muslims believe Jesus got taken up into heaven. Didn't get crucified as a ransom sacrifice, as a blood sacrifice, because Allah forgives. They have a different religion, you see. Christians believe in Jesus. God, I believe Jesus is a Roman invention. I believe Islam came from the Arabs, and Judaism came from the Jews, and the Vikings had their religion about Thor and Odin and Woden. The Australian Aboriginals have their religion about the Dreamtime. China has Taoism. Japan has Shinto. They all have different religions, all have different beliefs. If there really was a God, why doesn't he appear in the sky and stop all the division, all the religious division? And God could appear in the sky and sort out all the problems. Say, look, stop fighting each other. Here I am. But he doesn't appear. It's an empty sky, where all religious people are praying to an empty sky. All we have is this one life, this one planet, one human race. Let's live together on earth. Forget about the afterlife. Let's concentrate on making this life a better life for everyone. And when religion comes into the mix, it's hell on earth. Now, I'm not having goes at people who want to live in peace and harmony, but what happened at Bondi is an attack on all Australians. Because those gunmen, those Muslim extremists, now I know a lot of Muslims who are beautiful people, peaceful, peace-loving people. So not all Muslims, but when you get Muslim extremists, you get Christian extremists like the Westboro Church in America that want to kill homosexuals. I'm not gay. I'm a married man, but the hatred of people. Some Muslims in Muslim countries want to kill apostates. They want to kill atheists. They want to kill agnostics. This hatred. And Christians have killed more people than any other religion on earth, with the Crusades, with the witch burnings, the Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition. Thousands were burned at the stake, heretics burned, atheists burned, Catholics killing Protestants, wars, Catholics and Protestants persecuting Jews and killing Jews and killing native peoples around the world and stealing their land because they didn't convert to Christianity. Christianity's killed the most people so far, but Islam is fastly catching up in the murder count, and we want to stop Muslim extremists. We don't want to stop Muslims. If good peace-loving Muslims we love, and they're welcome. Peace-loving Christians are welcome. peace-loving Jews. But when you start fighting each other and killing each other over different religious views, because none of us know, we should all be agnostics. Let's live together in harmony for this one guaranteed life that we know we have. Because there's no guarantee there's an afterlife. Let's make heaven on earth now. And my heart goes out to those poor 15 Jewish people that got killed on Bondi Beach. My heart goes out to them. I'm not Jewish, I'm not Muslim, I'm not Christian, I'm an atheist agnostic. And horrible things. There's an attack on all Australians. We don't want religious extremism. We want beautiful Muslims like the Muslim hero Ahmed, who protected those Jews from being murdered, more Jews being murdered, not because he was a Muslim, because he was a good human being. Oskar Schindler in the movie Schindler's List, he was a real person in Germany. He saved those Jews in the concentration camps in the 1940s, not because he was a Christian, not because he was a German soldier, because he was a good human being. And he said, this is wrong to cause suffering to my fellow human beings. Do not cause suffering to your fellow man. Love your fellow man. And if there's a God, he wants us to love, to be kind, not kill each other. And we don't know, so let's live together in peace. Jehovah's Witnesses shun. They shun people like me because I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. So I used to believe in it, but religion divides people. And even Jesus says, I've come to divide. Man's enemies will be members of his own family because of different religious beliefs. Religion divides, but humanity unites us. We are good people and we don't want to cause anybody suffering, and we could make it a better world. This one life that we get, one life. There is no life after. There's no evidence of an afterlife. There's no evidence of a resurrection, and there's no evidence that there's anything after this life. It's a cold, hard truth. Accept it. Let's make this one life peace on earth. Stop the killing. Stop the hatred. Live in harmony, and we'll make it a better world for everyone and bring peace on earth. Just like that John Lennon song, Imagine, by then.